Hey, what's up, y'all? My name is Millennial Smark, and I'm back at it again with another video. So this is kind of late breaking, a little tiny bit. I'm curious as to how this show is going to play out. It could be very unique if they knew what they were doing and they played their cards right. I don't think they're going to do what I wish that they would do, but apparently there was a huge snowstorm from the area that some of the wrestlers are coming to come to the show tonight from AEW, and apparently some of them are snowed in. I can't find the article right now, but apparently the show tonight is going to have, hang on, actually I think I found Tony Khan's tweet. Let me go directly to it. Be a lot easier rather than just speaking from my ass. Wednesday night Dynamite with winter weather. Most of our team is here, but some are still battling icy roads and canceled flights. Like pandemic era, I will make changes if necessary to ensure you see a great show tonight. Okay, you could just, tell a legitimate story that's going on throughout the night and just focus on. Here's my thing. You don't have to focus so much on the actual match concept in itself. It doesn't have to be a story of just basic equity happening throughout the show in regards to like, hey, look guys, this real life event is actually affecting us, so we're gonna pull together. No, you ain't gotta do that, bro. Let me see the match card for tonight. Actually, out of curiosity, we have Edge versus Pac. I ain't calling him Cope. Shut the fuck up. We got Will Ospreay face to face with Kenny Omega, and we have the Hurt Syndicate versus Private Party for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. I mean, as long as you have stuff in between, the card in itself, as far as what we know we're gonna get, that's fine. But I would like to think to myself that now that we have a snowstorm that's actually occurring to the degree that most of the talent aren't gonna be there that night, that maybe you can kind of, make some decisions on the fly to maybe, prolong a story that otherwise would have only gotten one segment. You know what I mean? With the debacle that happened last week with MJF and Jeff Jarrett, and yeah, I'm calling it a debacle now after going back and watching it. I did not like it at all. Maybe you can, go out of your way to course correct some of those issues that occurred during that promo, and you can kind of give it a sense of like, okay, well, I sort of kind of want to see this now. They fumbled a little bit. They dropped the ball last week. Let's see how we can kind of get back on track and make this a storyline that people want to see. Maybe you can course correct some stuff that's been going on with the Dick Riders lately. Maybe you can actually give us a little bit more, directness, because from what we've been seeing throughout the past couple of months with the Dick Riders has been nothing but a bunch of nuances. You know what I mean? A bunch of things where it's kind of like, oh, well, we want to be mysterious about our intentions. We're going to give you like a bit of euphemisms here and there to let you know what we're actually gonna do from a positive standpoint without outwardly telling you the actual stated mission at hand going forward. So it'll be nice to get something a little bit more direct. Jon Moxley is a heel in the end of the day. You can maybe make it a point that, hey, this guy and his intentions are incredibly hypocritical. He doesn't quite want to do anything that he's talking about at all. Instead, he has different motives. I don't know. My point being is, you don't have to focus so much on the wrestling tonight. The wrestling in itself can be put to the side, and now that all the wrestlers aren't going to be there in order to distract you or deflect, necessarily speaking, to focus on the actual wrestling aspect, maybe now you can go out of your way and the best of the best can actually stand out in regards to their ability to tell a story, more in particular the microphone, the stick, and you can get more of these stories over. Ricochet and Swerve Strickland, them also, especially knowing that you're going to build up to their, when's their match happening in 2 more weeks, right? In February, right? So we'll see how the show goes. It's going to be very unique. I'm not sure if they're going to deliver, but I would like to think that with their hands being tied behind their back like a snake stuck in the corner, they're going to come out fighting for us as hard as they can, knowing that they ain't got nothing else left to lose. But then again, that's the story of their entire company, having nothing else left to lose, and they still end up terribly sucking most of the time. But one can only judge after you see the conclusion, right? Let's get into the show. Alright, so coming up next, we got the Hurt Syndicate taking on Jobber Party. But first, let's kind of revert back to the intro of the show. Let's revert back to this previously on Dragon Ball Z segment with Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay. So, I mean, I'll say this. First off, I'm the most unluckiest motherfucker in the world. We'll get to that in a minute. Well, I don't know. It depends how you actually look at it. You can call me unlucky or you can call me lucky. Depends how you look at the segment, right? But Will Ospreay came out, and then afterwards, Kenny Omega came out. I guess Will Ospreay asked for this time in order to, let's start a camaraderie between me and you, Omega. We can stick together in order to take it to the Don Callis family. Because, of course, in kayfabe terms, clearly I could probably take them all out myself because I'm the bigger star, and that's how wrestling works. If you're the biggest star, that means you could be the guy to explode at a supernova and take out all the lowly stars and planets around you, right? Figuratively speaking, folks. But Kenny Omega thought to himself, you know what? No, I kind of don't want to help you. I kind of don't want to accept your apology because last time I checked, we had a match about a couple of years ago. You stabbed me in the fucking head and cheated to win a match, and then you dropped me on my neck. So why should I help you out again? I could probably take them out myself. Again, metaphor, going back. You remember what I said about the supernova being the biggest star and taking out all the lowly stars around it? Yeah, that applies to Kenny Omega too, okay? That applies to Kenny Omega too. All the way down to the black hole because they fucking suck. No, I'm joking. Not really. But as he was talking and Will Ospreay was about to confront him on something, I shit you not, I had a power surge. My lights went out and then they came back on like 3 or 4 minutes later. And all I see is Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay in the audience brawling. It's kind of raining down here, which is fucking horrible. It is cold as shit. Bro, we have the weirdest weather patterns right now. Yesterday, it was fucking hot as shit. And then I wake up in the morning time, and it's like fucking 51 degrees. And I'm like, where the fuck did this come from? And then I took a nap throughout the majority of the day because I'm off. I'm trying to get in my relaxation time. Got to get in my beard straight. Got to get in my beard straight, girl. I got to curl my hair. And like I'm sleeping and I wake up and it's fucking raining, but it's still freezing. And I guess that kind of builds up into this and it cost me to have a fucking power surge. So I don't know what the hell happened as far as the confrontation in the ring or how the Don Callis regime got involved. All I know is my lights cut back on. I turn back on my TV and I see them fighting in the audience. Eventually, they did make it backstage, and Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay ended up hitting a double suplex on Lance Archer through a table. And then they make their way with the rest of the Don Callis regime out into the general audience, right inside like the audience pit area. And they both like climb structures. I think Kenny, he climbed like a truss on the far right. And then Will Ospreay, he went up the audience stands on the far left. And not simultaneously, but one at a time. Kenny ended up doing a moonsault. And then Will Ospreay ended up doing a moonsault himself and the Don Callis family. And then they climbed right back up the truss for them to, really Kenny to offer a challenge or issue a challenge at Grand Slam to Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher in the tag team match against him and Will Ospreay. And I guess like Kenny Omega, his music started to come on and Kenny was telling her to shut the music off. I'm thinking to myself, he's going to say something important and the music was actually playing while he was going to say something important, like maybe a stipulation to the match or something like that. No, he just told him to cut off the music so he could say his gay ass catchphrase, which I forgot he even had a catchphrase. And like, I guess it's somewhat of a hot start, right? It's a lot better than the stereotypical, oh, let's watch the wrestling for the sake of wrestling. Let's see some 5-star action, right? It's a break of the monotony. I'll say that. I will be charitable and I will give them that much. And if you're a younger fan, I guess maybe you don't care all too much, right? But I don't know. For me, and I feel like when I was a younger fan, I've seen it all. the brawling around the arenas and all that kind of stuff, and that's fine. That's cool. I don't mind at all too much, right? But the brawling could have been a little bit more substance, right? Like maybe there could have been something along the lines of, I don't know, Kenny Omega throwing someone through a glass window. And again, I know I'm nitpicking there, but I'm just giving an example as far as things that they could have done. They didn't have to go right back to the acrobatic shit, because in real life, you have a problem with someone. I mean, are you gonna go out of your way to climb up a structure, have them gather up together, and then hit a fucking flip? I mean, it was pretty stupid when I seen it the first time, right? Like, back in the days when I was a kid. But I was a kid, I didn't understand professional wrestling or how like things worked in the real world as far as fighting is considered, as far as doing stupid shit like that. And like I said, that's what I'm saying. If you're a kid, I guess you won't care all too much. But as an adult, when I see shit like this, it's like, dude, this is supposed to be somewhat of a serious feud, right? So maybe go out of your way to, I don't know, make it seem a lot more cooler, a lot more effective. Ooh, look at that. Bobby Lashley just put Isaiah Cassidy through an announcement table. Let me hear the shut up, because I have to watch this match. Looks like Mark Quinn about to go at it by himself. Damn, bro, he looks like he's in a prison scene. Goddamn, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, they're like, drop your shorts, nigga. Your friend, your homie ain't here to help you, bro. I'm about to take that booty hole, nigga. Pull down them shorts, bro. Pull down your shorts. But sir, I like my booty hole being attached to my ass. He's like, I'm about to attach that ass to my dick, nigga. Pull the pants down. Sorry, that's for another segment. But I just don't like the whole, doing crazy, stupid spots, choreographed spots where you're trying to get over something. Maybe you can get away with it a little bit when it's like during the match in itself, but like when you're doing it in order to sell me on the angle, I don't know, I feel it's kind of, reductive a little tiny bit. Like I said, it could have been something as simple as throwing someone through a panel of glass. Maybe you could have slammed someone on the hood of a car. You could have took the entrance gate and then slammed it on their stomach. Hell, just something as simple as hitting them with a chair or a pipe or something. But to like follow everything up with, let's do dives, like it is kind of stupid. It is kind of stupid. You could have easily used Brian Cage and Lance Archer, ironically enough, the two biggest guys in the match, because Tony Khan hates big man. Use them as an example to take them out. Kyle Fletcher and Takeshita don't get hurt, but they get to watch what's happening to their bros, and then they're just sending a message, and then you ask for the match. But you do the dives and stuff, and it gets super fucking corny, and it's, I don't know. I don't like the setup to it. I'm kind of over that kind of shit. But like I said, it breaks up the monotony a little tiny bit from the stereotypical wrestling. So I will give credit where credit is due as far as that is concerned. And then we did have a promo with Jon Moxley standing with his dick riders, Marina Shafir and Wheeler Yuta, the most I mean, fuck, you're bad when Marina looks like the most intimidating person within that group. But they didn't say anything much, just warning Edge about how he's gonna get his neck broken if he keeps fucking with them. I don't know, man, there's just something about the dick riders, man. Can I say this also? Maybe I'm just, I don't know, grasping at straws here. Maybe I'm just, digging for things, but maybe it's just me. I'm not even asking for color coordination, but at the very least, could you, like, I don't know, be aligned with the style at the very least? You guys are supposed to be like, these renegades, right? You're supposed to be these anarchists for the most part. Maybe have your clothes be a little bit more raggedy, something along the lines of that. Like, I don't know, maybe we're all brown or fatigue or something along the lines of that to actually sell the character that you guys are radicals. But instead, they just come out and they all just have their own style of clothes. Pac barely even wears clothes. And it's like, I can't really buy you guys as this unit when you're just going around just looking normal as fuck. It's like, what the hell? But I don't know, that's just me. By the way, I love how this guy finished talking about Isaiah Cassidy getting dumped through an announcement table. And mind you, dumped through an announcement table, which looked kind of botchy actually. And in the midst of actually saying that throughout this entire time, I said that probably like 3 or 4 minutes ago, right? He's already back up again. He went through an announcement table in the same time frame that I started talking about this whole thing. And before I could even end this segment, he's already up from selling an announcement table spot from Bobby Lashley. And you guys wonder why it's so hard for people to buy into your stupid ass company. Little things like that, man. Little nuances like that. But let me get back to this match. Yes, I'm doing 2 things at once. Really 3 things at once. You just can't see my right hand at the moment. So let's get back to that. Okay, maybe not the third thing. Maybe not the third thing. Let's get back to the other two things, though. And I'll come back and I'll commentate on this stupid-ass match so far. Alright, so a couple of things to reflect on real quick. We do have new AEW World Tag Team Champions in the Hurt Business. I'm kind of surprised. Like, don't get it twisted. I always knew that they were going to get the belts eventually, but I don't feel like... Has it really been that long that Private Party has held the Tag Team Championship belts? Like... I don't think, I feel like they won the belt back in like November, maybe October. I don't know. I can't remember, but like, I don't feel like they held the belts long enough, or maybe because they didn't really do anything significant with the tag team championship. But I only remember like one title defense, honestly, like the Fatal 4-Way, or what was it? The Fatal 4-Way tag team championship match at, not World's End. I think it was at, Full Gear, right? I could be wrong, but I think that's the only title defense that I can remember. They didn't do a goddamn thing. It was all about the chase when it came to them. And even the chase kind of came out of nowhere. I don't know. It was very lacking. One of the worst tag team title reigns of all time. But hey, it's AEW. Everything's going to be considered the worst of all time when fucking with that company. But now you have the championship belts on actual stars, at least in comparison. No, Bobby Lashley's a star, and Shelton Benjamin is at least known. If for nothing else, he could be considered somewhat of a nostalgia act. He's a name, right? And MVP's a name also. So I'm cool to see that. I'm very curious to see, because they're probably not going to drop those tag team championship belts for a while. Probably a couple of months. I wouldn't even be surprised if they don't drop that belts, honestly, to like maybe like the middle of the year. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't drop those belts to like around maybe even All In. I wouldn't be shocked. But I'm curious to see what they're going to do in the path going towards that direction, because that tag team division is completely, utterly, just ginormously fucked. So I'm curious to see where they're going to go with that. The match in itself was pretty fucking dumb, if for nothing else. Isaiah Cassidy making a complete mockery of the announcement table spot by pretty much not no-selling it, but hell, you were better off no-selling it, right? I mean, damn, he got up like 3 minutes after taking a botched-ass looking announcement table fucking spot from Bobby Lashley of all people, so I didn't like that. But it is what it is. At least they kept them look, and then on top of that also, they weren't even kept to look like strong, in my opinion, because it's like, maybe you can make an argument that Isaiah Cassidy being taken out via the announcement table and then Mark Quinn being double team in the handicap type of spot. Maybe you can make an argument that, you saved both talents as far as making Private Party look strong, as far as having Mark Quinn be resistant. And then maybe Isaiah Cassidy could have struggled to get back up from the announcement table, but it was too late and he ate the pinfall and it was essentially a glorified handicap match. That could have been the approach, but no, you let Isaiah Cassidy get up damn near right away and then they just lost. So now they're jobbers and now they're bitches and I don't want to see them anywhere near the tag team championship belts, period, point blank anymore. Congratulations, AEW. Hopefully you don't fuck over the Hurt Business the way you just fucked over Private Party. Not that they had nothing going for them anyways, but still though, you could have done a hell of a lot more. But it's Tony Khan booking the show with a bunch of fucking, I don't know, like lame ass former cruiserweights who actually think that they can actually book matches better than the people who booked their matches back in the days, because they're ass sore for not being able to get over like a Stone Cold Steve Austin and a Goldberg. I don't know where that came from. But we did have somewhat of a vignette with Tony Storm and Harley Cameron, I think that's her name, and they were just goofing around. They were speaking, like Australian tongue or whatever. I didn't understand a fucking thing that they were saying, but I guess that's the point. And then we had this segment with Jeff Jarrett, and he was struggling a little tiny bit with the promo. He was kind of struggling. He was fucking up a couple of words here and there, but nothing too noticeable until you actually pay attention. He's the last outlaw. I swear he was fucking up his words so much, bro. Peace, Jeff Jarrett. I love you, bro. You're my favorite homie, bro. You're my favorite homie, man. I remember you back in the 1950s when you told me to get out of your store because of the color of my skin. That's cool. I returned the favor by shitting on your yawn. See, him fucking up on his words is contagious. But he came in the ring. he started to speak words, right? He started to say a bunch of words. He was talking about MJF and how he's not gonna fuck him over and how his words aren't gonna get to him because he felt like he sunk himself to the level of MJF, and he told a corny ass story about having this jobber match earlier back in the 1970s that involved Jerry Lawler, and he was like, wait, no, it was in the 1980s. Nope, wait, that's Devontae saying 1980s because he's now just remembering how old Jeff Jarrett is, and he couldn't be 12 years old in the 1970s wrestling Jerry Lawler. I'm still talking really fast for no fucking reason until Jerry Lawler took him into the locker room and he was like, hey Jeff, let me tell you something. You can't fight in the gutter. You can't go out there and you can't sink yourself to these guys' level. What are you doing? Now, I never understood the repercussions as to why that was a bad thing, but that's fine. It's okay, Jeff Jarrett means well. And essentially he turned his attention to Jon Moxley by essentially saying that MJF, he doesn't mean anything to him. He's not going to sink himself to his level. His eyes are still on the prize. And he called out Jon Moxley for Cesaro to come out, and then Cesaro came out, and then he attacked him with an uppercut, and then he told him to stay out of the Deck Rider's business. And while he was walking away, Jeff Jarrett said, you know me. I don't know why he knows him. That could have been explained, but again, we're not getting a bunch of details, but that's okay. And essentially, he told Cesaro, hey, if I beat you, I get a shot against Moxley for the World Championship. Not sure how Moxley feels about that. Not sure how someone who's not even involved with the world title picture can make a fucking match for the World Champion. I guess we're supposed to just suspend disbelief. I mean, can you imagine? I can only imagine, bro. I can only imagine someone coming to me. I'm the regular, like, just pretend I'm an employee, right? I'm a regular employee, and they're an employee, right? And then they come to me, and they're like, hey, Devontae, if I bust my ass in this company, can you give me a promotion in 2 weeks? And then I go, yeah, I can totally do that, even though I'm just a fucking employee. Because totally, logic, absolute, so much fucking logic, right? So people are like, well, Devontae, what if you're friends with, your boss and you can probably talk them into, okay, maybe I should probably get my boss's word on that before just actually doing that. Logic doesn't mean anything in AEW. See you, folks. Logic doesn't mean anything in AEW. Pouring out my heart now, you suck. Sorry. Fuck. Alright, Ricochet is right there on my television for some reason, and for some reason, Gay R. Fox is wrestling Swerve Strickland. Hopefully this produces something, and continuing on. Is it 8? Fuck, we still got an hour left. Okay, continuing on. Okay, credit where credit is due. We got a lot of character development compared to what we typically get on these shows. It wasn't so much heavy focus on the wrestling in itself, and for the wrestling to actually do occur, they took it down a notch. I will give credit where credit is due. This was fine. I like most of these segments that actually happened tonight so far. So we'll make our way up and down rather than down and up as typically we usually do, right? Because I actually took notes this time, right? I know, silly Belly Devontae took notes. Oh, he's such a gooner. Damn, gooner Devontae. Swerve and Gay R. Fox had their match. It wasn't really anything important, and not to mention, it wasn't bad. Not to mention, the main focus wasn't on the match in itself, right? Ricochet came out with scissors, and this was kind of goofy. I didn't like Prince Nana holding a pipe to Ricochet, and then Ricochet holding scissors and pretending like he's gonna sword fight fucking Prince Nana. It was for a splitting moment, but don't do shit like that. This is supposed to be a serious feud. No haha, no goofy, okay? No dumb shit, okay? Especially now that Ricochet is saying that he's going to cut a promo next week to really get out all his grievances as far as people making fun of his bald-headed ass. But he went backstage, Prince Nana, that is, chasing Ricochet backstage. That caused a little bit of distraction for Gay R. Fox to get in a haluva kick. But when everything was all said and done, Swerve ended up hitting him with the Swerve Stomp and then pinning him in the most suspect way possible. And while he was helping up Gay R. Fox and pretty much, saying that we're all good, we're all Gucci because they do have a history, backstage, Ricochet was holding Prince Nana hostage. From what it looks like, he had like a pair of scissors up to his neck, and he was telling Swerve that he just wants to send a message to him. I thought he was going to hit him in the head with the scissors, but he didn't. He was just trying to scare Swerve Strickland, get them ready for their match coming up in 2 more weeks, which I still understand why this is happening on regular TV. Although I kind of do, because it's probably a match to set up another match for Revolution, because AEW, right? But hey, you get what you can take, right? It was relatively decent. If for nothing else, it sets up the premise for how Ricochet is going to carry himself next week. We'll see how that goes, building up to the actual go-home show for our regular show. Just go with the flow, folks. Then we had backstage with Jericho and Wild Bill Hiccup and the Bounty Hunter. And Jericho got kind of serious for a moment because Wild Bill Hiccup ended up losing his match to Will Hobbs last week, or somebody in relation to the Jericho Appreciation Society lost to Will Hobbs last Saturday on Collision. And Wild Bill Hiccup essentially said he was going to go find Will Hobbs to go confront him or have a match against him. And he started spewing off all this nonsense about being one of the most intimidating big men in the business, or one of the most intimidating men in the business. Look here, Edge. Look here, younger, taller Edge. Shut your ass up, all right? You ain't nothing, okay? Okay, my nickname for you being Wild Bill Hiccup is a play off the fucking Rugrats, okay? I don't care for you, okay? Okay, I don't care for Calamity Jericho. Shut your ass up. Just fucking go do something, okay? You're 7 feet tall and you can't teach that, okay? Go over there inside the corner, okay? Bow your head in shame and stare at your shadow and catering where you fucking belong, you goddamn jobber loser. And then we had this jobber essentially standing out ringside, right? And he was looking like he was getting ready for a match. Inevitably, it was going to be against Heyman Adam Page before MJF came out. And this is probably the most boring out of all 4 segments I've seen so far, I guess. I mean, he probably should have just confronted Jeff, but I get the whole thing. They want Jeff to do his thing with, obviously, Cesaro to probably set up for Moxley. I don't know if MJF's going to interfere in the match next week to fuck him over, or if he's going to interfere in the World Championship match with Moxley and well, because when's Grand Slam? Grand Slam is still in 2 more weeks, right? So we might get that match for the World Championship, and then MJF might interfere. I don't know, but he just cut a promo essentially saying nothing. Oh God, cringe Monet. Let me see what the fuck she's saying for a moment, guys. Hang on. Okay, well, that was one of the most cringy. That was one of the most cringiest fucking promo segments ever. Bro, the fucking cringe. Jamie Hayter, stop wearing that jacket. Do you ever wash it? Oh my God, bro. AEW women are so fucking cringe. Oh my God. Why are they? Bro, I was dying of fucking cringe. So it's already bad that we have the aura of Mercedes Cringe Monet, right? We have the aura of Cringe Monet coming out, right? She's talking about her cringe ass World Championship belts. And bro, oh my God, bro. Oh my God. Harley Cameron. Oh my God, bro. Oh God. Fucking Carleen. What's that girl's name? Colleen Ballinger? What was that song? No, what the fuck? What was that cringe ass song Colleen Ballinger song like a year or 2 ago? The Toxic Train. All aboard the toxic gossip train. something about this explanation. I'm a pedophile. Like, what was... Bro, I was getting those kind of vibes, bro. Oh my God, bro. She comes out with a fucking guitar, bro, and she's just like, so cringe, bro. Oh my God. She's like asking for a title shot while singing this fucking horrible song. But maybe, I don't know, maybe people, she has to tell, she can sing. It's just, the lyrics were just cringe, and the fucking American Idol vibes that I was getting. And like, bro, I was just waiting for her to just like, I was waiting for her to just bust to the spreading misinformation, the toxic gossip trade. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like, based Miranda Sings. Based Miranda Sings looking head ass girl, bro. This shit was terrible. It was terrible, but it was great. It was awesome. It was awesomely fucking terrible, bro. I want this shit on my playlist whenever I'm feeling down on myself. Just bring up Harley Cameron singing, bro, and make me feel so much better, bro. Oh my God, that was fucking awesomely fucking terrible. That was the highlight of the night so far. That was fucking awesome. Fuck, that was so terrible. Oh my God. Fake ass looking Jewel. But let's get back to what we were saying with MJF. He ended up cutting his boring ass promo talking about how he's gonna fuck over Jeff Jarrett, yada yada yada. And then speaking of fucking YouTubers, iDubbbz brings his crazy ass out here, right? He's like, "Get out of the ring, MJF. I'm iDubbbz, and I'm gonna pretend that I'm edgy, but in reality, I like having sex with guys and watching my girlfriend bang the same guys that I have sex with right in front of my face. Yada 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 yada, right? I used to be content cop, and now I'm cringe cop." And iDubbbz ends up having a match with this random jobber, fucking beats him with a regular clothesline, just completely that guy's gonna end up being a world champion in like fucking 10 years, going back saying things like, "Damn bro, I remember when I lost the match to a fucking clothesline to iDubbbz." So that's fucking terrible for iDubbbz's opponent. But eventually after the match, iDubbbz goes outside the ring and then he confronts Christopher Daniels, who has a neck brace on his neck, and he himself was saying like, I just want to let you know, iDubbbz, you kind of broken me. You broke my back and you humbled me like a bitch. And I gotta say, I can't compete anymore because I'm half a century old and I just can't get my dick hard anymore, iDubbbz. And you took away what little manhood I have left by retiring me like a little bitch. I'm sorry. You won. You won the last match. You fucked me in the ass. No diddy. No condom. No soul. And I'm gonna leave this world. I'm gonna leave this planet knowing that you fucked me in the ass. I got fucked in the ass. No rubbing, no diddy by iDubbbz. And I just can't live with myself. And hopefully you can't either. And then iDubbbz starts looking down going, "Damn, I probably shouldn't have blown out his back that hard. Get this camera out of my face." And he walks out. Bro, AEW, they're based tonight. They're based, bro. They're based. They're cooking. They're cooking, boys. They're cooking. Boiling water and everything without the fire and everything. These dudes are cooking. Let's get it. Chef Tony. Oh, bro, you ain't only cooking Coke. You cooking some fucking gems tonight, my bro. I love you, Tony. You're my favorite Palestinian, bro. You're my favorite Palestinian. You're my favorite Iraqian, bro. I love you, man. You didn't start 9/11 at all, nor did your dad. But now we have Daphne going up against what's his no booty hole name again? I forgot her fucking name. I don't know. Goff, Alexa Bliss, Thea Hell combination looking bitch. I'm not reviewing this match, by the way. Jamie Hayter has ass and she doesn't, and therefore negative cancels out a positive, right? But with that being said, continuing on with the show. Well, another week and another unacceptable bullshit main event that literally did nothing but just embarrass the shit out of professional wrestling. No consistency to it whatsoever. I'm here scratching my head wondering why the fuck are you still involving more people into a match and into a feud that should be strictly focused on Mox and Cope. This was so... I can't even put into words how fucking embarrassing this shit is, man. This is so fucking embarrassing. Every fucking week, they haven't done not one good angle yet with the Death Riders. Have you noticed that yet? Not one good angle. Every single fucking segment they do is an embarrassment. It is shit. It is trash. It is garbage. It makes no sense. There's no substance. There's nothing attached to it. They just do shit for the sake of doing shit. I'm not even understanding the premise of what the fuck they're even trying to do, because it's like your stated goal of which that you're trying to do, you never follow up on it. All you do is make a mockery out of not only just wrestling, but within the wrestling inside your same company, you're making a mockery out of the people that you're claiming to be trying to put over, right? Right, because the whole idea in regards to professional wrestling is momentum. It's supposed to not just get people engaged, not only get people to relate, but it's the relation and the engagement that gets you to at least understand what the fuck is going on so you can draw money. Okay, so you had this match with Edge and Pac, right? It is what it is. It was a fine match. We get fine matches every week. Who cares? We get to the finish of the match, right? Edge ends up beating Pac. I guess now he's trying to go with Mark Merrill's old finish, the TKO, right? I guess paying it back in dividends, right? If you know the story, apparently the TKO was originally supposed to be Christian Cage's old finish before he settled on the Imprettier. This is before he signed with WWE, when he was still working the territories up in Canada. And, you know, I think it was, I don't know how the story goes, but him and Edge and Rhino and Mero and a bunch of other guys, I think they were doing tryouts or training or whatever the case may be to get ready to go up to WWE. This is probably like circa 96 or circa 97. And I guess Christian had the TKO as a finish, the same finish you've seen Edge do tonight. And Mark Mero asked if he can borrow it because Christian wasn't in the company at that time. And Christian was like, fuck it. If I'm not in the company, don't know if I'm going to make it in the company, might as well make good use of it, right? Yeah, go for it, Mark Mero, right? So Mark Mero went with the TKO. That was supposed to be Christian's finisher, and I guess Edge was just like, you know, Mark Mero, it's now 30 years later, you're no longer in the business, so I might as well just kind of, you know, give you a receipt for it. I don't fucking know, but I guess this is Edge's new finisher, right? He's going with the TKO, which is whatever, who cares, right? Don't know why you're doing this, you're trying to reinvent yourself at the twilight of your career, whatever. That's not what my problem is. My problem is the shit that happened after the match, right? So they cut backstage after Edge wins the match, and apparently you have the Rock and Roll Express there, you have FTR there, they're tied up, there was no semblance of storytelling whatsoever. Maybe this could have worked if you would have touched on this angle happening throughout the night. Maybe there could have been something, like you sort of kind of did it with Ricochet and Prince Nana, when Prince Nana chased Ricochet backstage and then he got caught up in that situation. Maybe something like that could have set up for the night, because again, they did nothing to promote the main event as typical of AEW. They touch on so many things in one singularity. Like, they'll touch on one angle, and that one angle is what matters. There's legitimately no such thing as linear storytelling within AEW. There's no theme going throughout the night. They just do shit. Everybody has their own segment, and then there's nothing as far as a main theme happening throughout the show. It's just everybody says it's a variety show. It's legitimately a variety show. It's fucking terrible, bro. But like I said, FTR, they're tied up. The Rock and Roll Express, they're fucked up. They end up hitting a concerto on the Rock and Roll Express. Edge is sitting there dumbfounded looking at the Titantron. Eventually the Dick Riders come out, they ambush Edge, they fuck him up, they jump him. And then Jay White, who, goddamn bro, you're way too young to have that momentum drainy type of energy, you know, that's typically, you know, like a Chris Jericho or a Rey Mysterio type of energy. You're way too young into your career to have that type of energy right now. But that just goes to show you how AEW treats their superstars. I'm not a big fan of Jay White, but I gotta assume the people who follow New Japan Pro Wrestling, I gotta think, bro, you guys gotta be like raging, absolutely enraged with how they've treated Jay White. He might be more than what he's capable of, but man, AEW does him no favors. He already has that Jericho Rey Mysterio turn off my TV, go away heat with me. He's so fucking boring. He's so fucking boring. But eventually he comes inside the ring. At least there's some type of attachment. But again, it would have helped if you would have touched on this throughout the night. Because theoretically, I mean, shouldn't Heyman Adam Page be getting involved in this also, if we're using the same logic as to why Jay White came out? But it is what it is. He comes out. He gets his ass whipped too. Eventually, they have Edge right where they want him. They're constantly mentioning his neck. They could do something. They can take Edge out. They can do whatever they want. They have him in the palm of their hand. Something that could be just completely devastating, that you could at least say to yourself, Heyman or Jay White could come out to stop that with a chair or with a pipe or with a kendo stick or with a 2x4 or something to run them off, right? At least propose the idea. Instead, Jay White comes out, get his ass kicked, and now you have Edge right there where you want him. He's completely destroyed. And what does Jon Moxley do? He puts him in a bulldog choke and he makes him pass out, and then they leave the ring with Edge and Jay White laid out like that. It's so fucking stupid. Just common sense will tell you, do you think that's going to take out Edge? You think that's going to put him out? Hit him with a chair. Break his neck. Do whatever you have to take him out. You did it to fucking Bryan Danielson already. You somewhat did it to Darby Allin, right? Just fucking do it. Go along with what the hell you want to do. Instead, they just leave him like that. And like I said, you can tease the idea still and then Jay White could have came out to stop you. At least then you can say, well, we were close to taking out Edge for good before Jay White came out and fucked us over. Instead, Jay White comes out and he's right there, and then he gets destroyed, and now Edge is right there in the palm of your hands to do whatever you want to do with him, and then you just let him go. And it's like, dude, what happened to your message? What happened to your theme? Like, you just completely just leave. Like, it's stupid. It makes no sense. It's so dumb, and people are like, oh, Devontae, you're thinking too deep about this. No, I'm not. This is what I mean when I say you guys grew up on shitty fucking wrestling, dude. The times in wrestling have completely devolved to the point where you're just now going out of your way to endorse stupid fucking shit. Once again, story-wise, isn't this the whole motto of the Death Riders? To, bring back, I don't know, what would you say? Like, they're trying to rid the company of their enemies that are making wrestling look stupid. Ironically enough, they're the dumbest motherfuckers in wrestling. In reality, they should just be fighting themselves, headbutting concrete. They're fucking stupid. They're terrible, bro. They're a horrible stable. Everything about them is horrible. And Edge, going on along with this, dude, you're supposed to be a locker room leader. You have nothing of a filter to at least hold you back and make you use common sense with the stupid shit that you do. Go back to WWE, man. Go back to WWE. It does wonders. Trust me, man. I hated CM Punk in AEW for the most part, as far as how they carried him. It took CM Punk to actually have to use his own God-given tools to do whatever he could to get whatever over, and even that wasn't enough to overcome the shittiness of AEW. And they're doing the same thing to Edge. Edge is just, he's being let loose to do whatever he wants to do, and he sucks. His creative fucking sucks. He needs somebody to rein him in. You give a filter to Edge, and God, he's a legend. You don't give a filter to Edge, and he ends up being fucking Cope. I'm coping right now. It feels like, damn, this is terrible. Just go back to WWE, my guy. Go back. Jon Moxley is a lost cause. Dean Ambrose is dead, but Edge is still alive. You're still a legend. People still love you. People still want you to succeed. You've already made it into the Hall of Fame. You don't have to do this. You're just ruining your legacy. You're ending up to be like a Chris Jericho, where you're going so far where there's just no coming back. There's no coming back. Everything in regards to what I've seen in this main event is stereotypical stupid fucking tripe from AEW ever since the Dick Riders ended up being the stable and becoming the world champion with Jon Moxley. Everything is just complete and utter retardation. These guys are being let loose to do whatever the fuck they want to do, and in reality, they have no clue what the fuck they have to do in order to get over a goddamn story to make somewhat semblance of some goddamn sense. It's terrible. Everything about this is terrible. Everybody looks bad in this segment. Everybody has nothing as far as momentum is gained from this. The Dick Riders still look retarded as fuck. It's just stupid, man. It's stupid. They think just because they can do something horrific or do an angle, it's supposed to have something attached to it. It's not doing it for, you're just doing shit again for the sake of doing it. They're just doing shit for the sake of doing it. This was terrible. This was terrible. And considering this took up at least a good, maybe 30 minutes of the last portions of tonight's show, including the 5-minute overrun, that means it took up damn near 25% of the show. And then with everything else being somewhat of a mixed bag, and then the cringe attached to some of the other dumb shit that's going on, it's like they just can't get out of their own fucking way. It's like they can't get out of their own way, man. I don't know if these guys have creative clauses in their contract, but man, this is just fucking garbage. This is all fucking garbage. It's terrible. It is terrible, terrible, terrible wrestling. Still no focus on the World Heavyweight Champion in regards to the title in itself. Still everything that circulates around the reasoning in regards to the Death Riders being around, not explained. It's just stupidity on top of stupidity on top of stupidity. And yet we have people who will actually enable this stupid fucking behavior and continue to pretend as if what AEW is doing is the right thing just because they happen to be the alternative from WWE, simply because they're not a part of WWE. Newsflash, dickheads. Being an alternative strictly doesn't mean just being a completely separate entity from whatever the other thing happens to be. You actually have to be different. In reality, you're WWE, but more retarded than they are. Whatever, man. Have your thoughts down in the comment section below in regards to how you felt about the show. Cover it, like it, do whatever you want to do. I'm going back to go play some Red Dead Redemption. They're not going to ruin my night. As always, my name is Devontae, and I'll be catching you guys later. A deuces and a pea. Ice.